Good afternoon. Hello. Hope we're all well. We have got a lovely little 3 circuits, but just 2 exercises in each one. So this one's going to be a little bit shorter. So I think that's really important when you go into the Facebook workouts and you can see how long they are. You'll see that this one is a bit shorter, and then you get to pick your workout. If you're ever revisiting them, you get to pick one that is a bit shorter in length if that's all you've got time for. And the focus of today's workout is shifting weight into one leg in a squat, which is really good for building skill in your squat. It's really good for getting you more comfortable through a larger range of motion. It's a good way to add more challenge, and also if you're going to ever build up to pistol squats and single leg squat variations, it's really good for those as well. We've got a couple of things, so I'm just going to kick my slippers off so I don't forget to take them off. I've got my squat wedge again. Let me just make sure you can see all these things on the floor. I've got my squat wedge again, which if we're ever doing any kind of squats, I want you to always have something that you can elevate your heels on, because it feels nice and it allows you to get more depth. So if you don't have a squat wedge, nice thick book like this to pop the heels on, have that. It's optional, so you don't have to use it. I've got a block, but if you don't have a block, don't worry. You could use something else around the house, like just something that's a bit higher than the floor. There's like a baby walker there, that's fine. And then I've got some objects here as well, because one of the exercises has got a task focus. And to scale, I've got a big object, which is obviously closer to me, so that will make it slightly less challenging, or a smaller object, because you have to reach further to get that. So you just need a couple of bits. As always, I just use Freya's toys because they're lying around and they're useful. So we've got squat patterns with a shift of the hips into one leg with foot taps, and then we've also got a little push-up focus on the second exercise. So we will get started. I've just realised I don't have my water as well. Never mind. And I am feeling a little bit bloated today. So to make this more comfortable for myself, I'm just going to take some range out of it and do a range that feels more comfortable when you've got a bloated belly. And I've just put some nice loose jogging bottoms on, again, to make that feel more comfortable for me. And I'm hoping that although things don't feel comfortable right now, by the time I finish, I might feel a little bit better. So fingers crossed. Here we go. First exercise is a tap out squat. So we are squatting down, and we're just going to take the foot out on each side and then standing back up again. So let's go with that. Let's go for 8 in total. And I just want you to take your time, just really slow everything down, get that foot moving, use a range that feels comfortable for now. You don't have to push yourself too deep, and just focus on having those knees and hips bent as you walk that foot out. There we go. As always, there are no planned interruptions, but I have a baby sleeping, a postman could knock on the door, a dog could bark, so hopefully none of those things could happen. We're going to go one more, although I think that makes 9, but you know, they were feeling okay, so lovely. Right, first squat done. If you want to do more rounds of that, you can. If you want to do more reps of that, you can, as always. Next thing we're going to do is a push-up, eccentric only, so that's just the lowering phase. If you need to grab a cushion to put under your chest, do that, but we're going to go narrow stance. I want the hands as close together as possible under the chest. And again, this can either be done on the knees, with knees under the hips, knees out, or full push-up position. I'm just going to start on the knees because of the bloat. I want hands really close together, and elbows are just going to come past the body, lower it down, chest to the floor, come up however you want. Really slow this bit down. I'm going to go for 6 in total, but you can do anywhere between 6 and 10. Really trying to control that last little bit I'm going to do the last two on my feet because they're feeling okay. That's one, nice and slow, hands really close together, chest to floor. Perfect. Right, my arms are warm now. Cool. Perfect. Remember just to ease yourself in with everything. Do more or do less, whatever feels good. Right, the next squat we've done before. Week 1, we did hip shift, where you squat down and you just shift your hips over one side. Again, it's just a really good way to introduce the body to put in weight in one leg. And then we even did it with a reach. So we're going to take that one step further. If you want to elevate your heels with this, please do. We'll also need one of our objects. I'm going to go with Dougie to begin with. He's nice and big, and I'm just going to put him on one side of me. Now he's on that side, so that means I'm going to shift my hips right to begin with. So what I'm going to do, I'll be shifting my hips over the right leg. Left leg's going to tap forward, back. I'm going to grab Dougie. Now, when you grab your object, I want those hips to really come out, and I want you to swing that object. So then hips are facing this way. Place him on the other side and stand up. So what I want to see is basically that bum drawing a massive circle out the back as you rotate around. Arms are really nice and straight. If you don't have an object, you can just have your towel or your band straight on the floor. You can pick it up and just whip it round. So anywhere between 6 and 8 on each side, again using a range of motion that feels good to you. So now Dougie's on my right, I'm going to shift my hips left. We want hips, knees and ankles all to be bent. Shifting over, tap that foot out, grab him, swing him round and stand up. Okay, if that foot shifting out just doesn't feel possible for you, just try it with less range. So just sitting down a bit, tap it forward, or shift and just see if you can lift those toes up, get it onto the heel, slide it back down. Okay, let's go. Oh, tap, grab, swing him round, standing up, shift other side, tap, grab. Really swing those hips. It feels nice. And take that bit really slow where you're shifting the weight into that leg to tap forward. Hands can do whatever they want at this stage. Grab, swing. Whew. Feeling that deep in that glute. Whew. Tap it out. Stay as low as possible when you go for that big swing as well. I'm going to go for 4 more. Again, you can do more or less. Shift into that opposite side of wherever your object is. Get used to putting all the weight on that leg. Oh, 2 more. I can really feel that. Last one. Tap out, grab, swing him round and stand up. And I'm sure whatever you've used, I'm sure you'll see that if you've picked a slightly bigger object, like a cushion, it's easier to grab. It's going to be slightly less challenging. Something closer to the floor that's smaller is going to be a bit more challenging. But oh, my bum. Right, back to that push-up skill. We're going to go hands really wide this time. So I'd say standard push-up is hands sort of right under the chest and shoulder, but we're going to go wider. So we've started narrow, now we're going super wide. Again, you can have knees under the hips like this. You can have knees out here. Control it as slow as you can to the floor. You don't have to push back up. or full push-up, controlling it, chest hits the floor first, put a cushion there if it feels good, come up however you want. Again, I'm going to start on the knees because the bloat is real. And sort of plummeting my belly towards the floor is not going to be the best thing for me today. So I'm on the knees. And also don't worry if you can only control to here and then you think, oh no, I need to come back up. Do that. Still working the same muscles, still working on the skill. It's all good stuff. So hands, get them nice and wide. I'm going for outside of my mat. And I'm going to control my chest to the floor. Doesn't matter what it looks like when it comes back up because I'm only interested in controlling to the floor. Anywhere between 6 and 8. Try and look at the top of your mat as well. Don't look at your feet. Don't look straight down. Looking towards the top of that mat. So eyes are just slightly forward. I'm going to go 2 more. I might do the last one on my feet. Just because I feel a bit more confident now. Just have to be careful of the belly. Be as slow as possible. You can see like my body naturally just trying not to land on my stomach because it knows that that's not going to feel very nice. Warm shoulders. Right, we are nearly there. 2 exercises to go. So we're going to go back to the narrow stance squat that we did in the first ever bodyweight strength. If you haven't done that one, go back and check it out because they all follow on from each other. We're going to progress things as we go along. So in the narrow stance squat we did feet really close together, and again you can elevate your heels for this one. It will probably feel really nice. I might, haven't decided yet. And we squatted down and we went for teeper arms, 1 taps the floor and back up. So we're going to introduce the heel tap in the bottom of that as well, and we're going to tap as we reach. So squatting down, and as you tap you're going to reach and then back. This is what the block's for. If the floor, block or baby walker, whatever you've got lying around, if the floor feels too far away, you can use that block. So you'd either have 1 on one side and do all the reps on one side and then switch it over, or have 1 each side so you can switch in between. If the floor feels too far away, you can squat down and you can just reach to that, and it will just give you a little bit of support as well, and then back up. And we really want to focus on shifting into that hip, but we're also going for that lean. It's just going to make it a little bit more challenging. Also, you can take some range out of it. Could look like this. You're still going to put weight into that one leg. It's still going to work the muscles in exactly the same way. Again, going from anywhere between 8 and 12 all together. So roughly, I think I'm going to go for 6 on each side. So that would be 12 altogether. But again, you can do more, you can do less. You could start with a block, then take it away. Completely up to you. Make it your own. Make it feel good for you. Here we go. Feet really close together. Elevate the heels if you'd like to. I'll show you what mine looks like with that in a second. Squatting down, arms out, and then tap as you lean and back in. Try and keep the chest forward. I'm quite terrible for looking down, which I think I say every week. Tap and reach. Whew. Leave the reach out. If you're not feeling it, you could just focus on that tap. It's completely up to you. Oh, losing my coordination. Squat, lean and tap. And I'm just going to do one more each side with a heels elevated. So feet nice and close together. Down. Oh, lots more range. The ankles like that. Tap. Oh, I really felt that. My word. Okay. Wonderful stuff. We've got one more in the push-up skill. Hands are going to be really far out forward. Now, this is a juicy one. And it took me ages to be able to do these on my feet. So again, start on the knees if you need to. So you can start here. Hands are really far forward. And elbows going to control down to the mat. So we don't want elbows going out. We want them coming towards us so that we end up with our arms like that. Let me just adjust the camera just so you can see better. There you go. Right. Or on the feet, it looks like this. I set up in my normal push-up and then I set the hands way forward. I'm just going to control the elbows down and then come up one at a time. You can try and come up with both elbows at once. I can't do that. I can't do that yet. It's not a skill that I have, but I try each time and one feels more comfortable lifting off at once. So again, anywhere between 6 and 10, depending how spicy you're feeling today. I'm going to start on the feet, and then if I need to, I'm going to go to the knees. So hands really far out in front, lowering those elbows down, come up however you want to. Elbows point towards you, aiming to try and get them to touch down roughly the same time. So it's very tricep focused. I'm going to go for two more really good ones. Oh my goodness, that is so much harder than it looks. Right, you're all done. And again, if I hadn't waffled so long at the beginning, this would probably be even shorter. So sorry about that. Hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, as always, let me know. If anybody needs any help or scaling options with things, yeah, lovely. I hope you enjoyed that. And have a lovely rest of your day. I'll speak to you all soon. See you on Friday for some dumbbells. Woohoo! Oh.